Today we're talking about how to cut a square layered haircut, and you might be thinking, why in the world would I want a square haircut? We'll talk about some examples of what that actually looks like on a real life person, like my doll head here. All right, let's do this. All right, let's talk about who is the best candidate for square layers. Okay, first of all, square layers actually give you some soft layering. It's for shoulder length or shorter. Okay, and you can cut square layers on a bob as well, so that is shorter. And it's actually for people with either straight or wavy hair. I wouldn't, if you had curly hair, I probably would not pick this haircut for you.
Okay, we are going to start this haircut with the 4 quadrants parted off, and then from the O-bone down behind the ear. If you are struggling with parting the hair, please make sure you go watch our video on how to part the hair. And then we will be taking sections straight across, cutting a straight line haircut in the back. It's a one length haircut in the back sections. And again, for reference, go watch our video on how to cut a one length haircut. The link will be in the show notes, and plus it'll be right up here. We're going to speed through this back section because it's just really a one length haircut. So here's the last haircut in the back, and then we are going to double check the sides, make sure the length is even on both sides. Taking down all the hair. And this is our last section for the back section. Again, it's a one length haircut in the back starting off. So it builds upon what we've already learned with the one length haircut. Again, we've got that video in our haircutting series. Here I am making sure I'm combing the hair to the natural fall. And again, we are just cutting a one length haircut. We really want that strong perimeter in this haircut. Square layers are all about, well, 90 degrees. It's going to be a straight line from the floor and a straight line to the ceiling. You'll see in just a few minutes. Okay, now we're going to move to the side. Here I'm going to find the parietal ridge. We do have a video on how to find the parietal ridge. I'm going to part that down, and we are going to cut square. Again, the one length haircut. That's what we're doing first. That's the first step to this haircut, if you don't quite get that idea yet. Again, if you don't know how to cut a straight one length haircut, go check that video out first and then come back to this video and you'll love it. And here we're just doing the other side, straight one length haircut. Make sure that the dampness of your hair remains consistent. You don't want to cut one side of the head wet and the other side dry, because it will not be an even haircut because the hair shrinks when it dries. Make sure that you're staying consistent with your length. Get down parallel to the floor and see how I'm bending my knees and I'm looking dead on to that hair. All right, we've established our length. A really, really good length for this, my favorite, is right at the collarbone. Keep that in mind. Okay, I'm just double checking the length in the front. I don't know about you, but I always cut one side longer. And it's usually the left side. So here I am just taking that little corner off. Don't worry if that's you too. It's all right. We're human. All right, now to go to the front of the head. And if this little baby doll didn't have bangs, you could really see this effect, but that's okay. We are going to be parting from the curve of the head down to the ear, which basically you are just parting off that section around the head. What we're going to be doing here is cutting 45-degree angles from the bottom of the hair to wherever you choose on your face. So it could be the lips, it could be the nose. I try to keep it at a 45. Sometimes I even take it to the chin. If the hair is longer, you're going to take that starting point longer. So say you wanted to cut this past shoulder length, you would want to start your angle past the chin, below the chin. If the hair is more at a bob length, you might want this angle to start at the nose. Okay, now we got both sides down. So you don't want to take your corner off. That's that corner right there. So you're going to be cutting to your corner. Okay, so you're not cutting to your fingers, you're cutting to the corner. So if you cut that corner off, you'll be, nice head, sorry. You will be creating more of a mullet, and you don't want a mullet. So you're just cutting to that corner. If you cut past that, then you're cutting the hair so it falls behind the shoulders. And I don't know about you, but when you have hair on your shoulders, it just makes you feel a little bit better, right? So here I am finding my guide from my other side. Now with this haircut, because she has bangs, you want it to be as balanced as you can get, as even as you can get. But because of those bangs are in there, you're going to have to like eyeball it just a little bit. Yeah. And here I am just trying to show you the angle. And you could do this free-handed if you need to. It's okay. And if you have like a styling or a cutting lotion on there, your hair will behave a lot better too. I'm just using water, but you can use like a soft glaze or a gel, and it'll really help control the hair. Okay, now that you have those two sides kind of kissing cousins, if you will, then you want to bring down the rest and cut that. Okay, here I am taking a center parting, like a little mohawk section about 1 inch wide. And this is going to be your guide for your layers. Okay, about 1 inch wide, just enough so you have a little bit on either side. And what you're going to do with this, that first cut that you made right by the nose or the mouth or the chin, that's going to be your guide. And you're going to bring that straight up from your section, from your part, straight up, and you're going to cut a line straight across, parallel to the floor. This is going to be your square. In this video, it kind of looks like I'm going up, but I'm not. Must be the angle of the camera, but straight across. That's going to be, it's almost like a box, if you will. So you have your perimeter line around your haircut that's completely straight to the floor, and then you're bringing up your layers, and they're going to be straight to the ceiling. Okay? And you don't want to over direct this on either side. This is going to be straight up from that middle section part. Here I'm leaving a little bit of a guide to connect the back, and I'm making it a 1 inch section to the back, just to the round of the head, to the O-bone. You can't make a mistake here at all because you won't be cutting it, the hair will fall down. But just for reference, this is kind of what you're cutting. And what I'm doing there is I'm combing it straight out from where it lives and then pulling it up. You can control the hair a lot easier that way. If you tried to comb it all the way up, you'd be tangling it up. So you saw my guide, and now I'm just cutting straight across. I'm bringing that hair straight up and straight across. Now I've created that guide in the back. So we have that center guide in the back, and now we're going to concentrate just on the back section. So you want to find the top of the head, and you want to get that front section out of the way. So part those front sections out of the way. Get those gone. Pin them up. Do what you got to do. But you just want to concentrate on the back. Okay, now we've got the back sectioned off. So you've got your guide in the middle that we just cut. And now we're going to visualize almost like a pie, like a Trivial Pursuit pie or slices of pie. So you're going to cut the middle one, and then you're going to go around to each side and have a slice. And you're always going to have that guide from the middle of the pie. Okay, so here I'm just sectioning off a little diamond. I've got my guide from the middle. I am combing it straight out and then straight up. Straight out to get all those baby hairs You want a nice clean section, and then straight up. And then make sure that comb is parallel with the ceiling or the floor, but parallel, because you're going to cut that box, those square layers. And notice I'm not cutting anything underneath the O-bone or the curve of the head. That's your perimeter line. See that pie shape? So I've got a little bit of the guide from the previous section I just did. I'm combing it all straight out from the head, just control it, and then I'm bringing it straight up, and parallel to the ceiling and floor, and cutting that off. And then we'll do the other side. Same thing. Pie shapes. And you can usually do the back, even if they have thick hair, usually in about 5 sections. You got the middle, you got 2 pie shapes on either side. This haircut, really, when you're in your zone, it takes maybe 10 minutes. All right, I'm showing you the pie section there. Pie section, and the reason why you have a pie section is so you always have that guide from the very top of the head that we cut. All right, parallel to the floor. See, pie section in the back is living right in the middle of that pie section, okay? So I'm not over directing it. Combing it out and then combing it up just to control the hair. Because the longer the hair, it's going to tangle. And you know these doll heads, they tangle anyway. So, all right, back's done. Now I want to check the back and make sure it's all even. And here's my secret. I make this little triangle on the top of the head, just in the back. And then I'm going to make it all the way go straight up in the air. And I'm just going to check to make sure all my hair is straight across. See that? I got a little tiny bit. All right, that's how I check it. All right, now we're going to move to the front. The back's done. Done. Take down these sides and move to the front. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take 45-degree angles or to the hairline, and we're going to bring it, over direct it back to that top of the head, the top of your wagon wheel, pinwheel, whatever you want to call it, Trivial Pursuit circle. See how it's going straight up? Okay, there we go. Straight up, and I'm over directing it to the back. This is going to create those shorter layers on top and keep your perimeter line solid and strong. All right, see how it's going straight up? I'm over directing, and then I'm going to come down and part again. And it doesn't matter if you pick up a little bit of the back's already cut, right? But you definitely want all of the front. Yeah, Denise, there's a little bit, get it? Definitely want all the front. So you bring that back to the crown area, bring it back, straight up, and you're going to cut that off. Parallel to the ceiling, parallel to the floor. See how easy this is? Square layers is just a square. I know some people have been taught to square it off in the back too, but to me, honestly, that makes it into a shag. So if you're wanting a shag, you would square the back perpendicular to the floor. That's not what this design is. All right, straight up, bringing it up. All right, side is done. See how easy that is? 3 cuts, the side's done. Now you're going to go to the other side. Do the same exact thing. You might be able to see it a little bit better on this side though. Parting it at that 45-degree angle, and you're pushing it back, in this case, to the top of the head, or the top of that pinwheel, if you will. Pretend like there's an imaginary point on the very top of the head where that comb rests. See how I'm pushing it back there? I am showing you with my comb that it's living straight up, and then I'm cutting it parallel to the ceiling. And now I'm just bringing the whole side up. You could probably do this in one big old sweep, but don't do that. You want to keep your sections clean. You want to keep your haircut clean. And you want to be able to control the hair. Too much hair is too much hair. All right. There it is. The haircut is finished. Now I'm going to check, make sure that it's all even. And how I do this is I take the sides and a little from the back, go straight up and make sure that they match. Straight up. See that? Straight up. Yay! Check the other side. You're just taking from the front and the back. Go straight up. Easy, easy peasy. That is a delight. This haircut is finished, and there you go. You can do this haircut. This is easy. Okay, and now we are done blow drying. As you could probably tell, the reason why I had a different doll head is because I messed up my videotape of this doll head that I cut. So I forgot to turn my mic on. So as you can see on this doll head, after it's blow dried, you can see where the layers are standing, right? And you could tell that those layers would work really well with a bob. You could also flip those ends out. That would look really nice too. It's whatever you want to do. With this doll head, it's really kind of hard to see the actual haircut because first of all, her hair is really dark. Secondly, she's a doll head. So what I'm showing here is that you want to make sure from the parietal ridge down that you are blow drying straight down or close to the head. You don't want that to be fluffy or big or volume underneath there. You want it to live closer to her head. And then when you get above the parietal ridge, that's when you can bring in the volume. But you still don't want a ton of volume in this because you will get a lot of volume just because the layers they're shorter in the crown area. But you can also, depends on how short you want that crown area is where you're going to cut it from the front. The longer the piece in the front by the nose or the chin or the lips, that's going to define your length in the top. This is actually one of my very favorite haircuts to do. I actually put this haircut in a lot of my bobs because a lot of bobs, people want a little bit more volume up top, and this keeps that perimeter line really nice. However, it gives you some layering up there too, without just layering the bob. Okay, I'm going to show you the sectioning. We're going to walk through this. Okay, it looks kind of crazy, doesn't it? You do a one length all over, and then you, an inch from the hairline, you're going to cut a 45-degree angle. And then you're going to take that guide and you're going to create a mohawk section, and you're going to cut that section parallel to the floor. Then you're going to use that guide for your mohawk section in the back, and you're going to cut that
parallel to the floor. That's going to be now your guide to the back, and you're going to do pinwheel sectioning in the back, lifting all the hair, leaving the hair down below the O-bone, but you're going to cut it all parallel to the floor. And then you're going to come to the front and 45-degree angles, bring it to the back, over direct it to the crown area of the head on both sides. Everything, if you pulled all the hair up to the crown area of the head, it will be straight to the floor. This is a true square layered haircut. This is excellent for round faces. It really does make the layers lay a little bit closer to the head so you don't get them so round looking. That's who I would cut it on. I'll show you some examples of what square layers look like on people. Remember, the front section determines the length of your layers. If you want it longer on top, you're going to want to start your front section a little bit longer. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this series. I know this is crazy looking at this video. I just want you to know that this foundational haircut series is vital to the success of your career. If you know some hairstyling friends that might find this helpful, please share it. And always remember, when you know better, you do better.